Welcome to SoftIQ Technologies. In today's video, we'll be looking at the setting up a complete company in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2018. This video is a continuation from our last video about the download and installation of NAV 2018. So we will do the setting up of a trading company, which will be a company dealing with the purchasing of goods or services and then selling the same goods and services. So below are the steps we will follow to create the company. So we'll first of all set up the company, then we are going to set up the company master data. Master data basically is the data that is absolutely essential for running operations within a business. Examples of master data include chart of accounts, items, customers, vendors, users, locations, and banks. After we set up all that, then we can begin trading, that is purchasing and selling of goods or services. So without further ado, I'm going to open the system. So once we open the NAV 2018 RTC, it comes with the Kronos demo company. So what you need to do is come here and to the search bar and search for companies. We're going to create a new company. You give it the name you want to give the company. In our case, our company will be called SoftIQ Technologies. It deals with the sale of ICT equipments. So we give it some time to initialize. Once it initializes, you can be able to copy the display name. And then we are going to use the assisted company setup. So you tick this checkbox. It will tell you something about the configuration package. For now, we'll say OK. You can come and switch into that company. And we can choose the new company we've created. So now once this company is initialized, we can see the assisted company setup. You can choose here next, put an address for your company. You can create a city. You can create a country. Of course, these setups, you can do them later, but for this example, we are just going to set them up. Once that is set up, if you have a logo, you can also import the logo. And then here you can put the phone number. You can be able to set up an email. You can be able to set up a website. You can input the bank details. The rest you can fill them later. Our accounting year starts on 1st of January. And there are inventory valuations. So, but for this example, we're just going to use FIFO. And then you can click on finish. Once you click on finish, so the company is ready, but it has all this as blank data. So there are no items, there is no data on the customer table, also on the vendor table. So the only data that comes from the assisted company setup is accounting periods, so which you can look at and see. So now what we're going to do, we're going to begin with setting up the chart of accounts. So the way the chart of accounts is going to be set up, so we are going to begin with the balance sheet accounts and then the income statement. So there are several accounts which are very crucial so that we can begin trading. So we first of all begin with the balance sheet accounts. So you can begin by creating like a heading. This one also will be a heading. So we'll begin with our banks. We can begin with the cash account. It's going to be an asset. We can set up one bank. is also an asset, and it will be a posting account. Next, we can go to what we call accounts receivables. This is one of the important accounts that we need to begin trading. It is a balance sheet and it's an asset. It's a posting account also. Next we require is inventory. So we can have inventory based on the products that we'll be dealing with. So we can have this first of all as a heading. And then we can have the, assuming we want to track the different inventory groups. So for example, we can have inventory desktops. It will be an asset, posting account. Then we can have inventory laptops. And also we can have, say, inventory accessories. This also depends with what the company trades with. And this is also an asset. So after we set up the inventory accounts, we're going to skip the fixed assets and go straight to the current liabilities. So this is going to be a heading. Then one crucial account we require, known as accounts payables. This is where our domestic vendors accounts will be hitting. It will be a posting account. Next, we are going to set up some crucial accounts for VAT. This can be a heading. Purchase VAT. This one we can create it as an asset. Then we can have sales VAT. This is going to be a liability. It's a posting account also. So once you set up the VAT accounts, we can skip the long-term liabilities and go straight to the income accounts. So our income accounts can begin from the range of 60,000. So this is going to be a heading. This will be a heading also. Now, depending on the business, you can have the income accounts for the different account groups, or rather the different products you deal with. So for example, you can have sales income desktops. To be an income and a posting account. And then we can have sales income laptops. This will also be an income account. So once we set up our income accounts, we can proceed to set up our cost of sales accounts. So we can have our cost of sales on the range of 70,000. This will be a cost of goods account. So this first one can be a heading. Then we can create the actual account. Of sales desktops. Of course, if you have these accounts on an Excel template, you can be able to import them. We can cover that in our next video. So this will be also a cost of goods. So once we set up the cost of sales, we can set up the purchases account, or what we call the direct cost accounts. It's a control account. We can set them up in the 75,000 range. This can be a heading. And then we can create the posting accounts. Here's a posting account. So friends, now our chart of accounts is completed and all accounts we require to begin trading are there. Now what we can do is the next master data is items, where we need to create the actual products and services that we'll be buying and selling. So if you come here to items, you can be able to create our items. So you can also have a number series that auto-populates this item number. So our first item can be HP desktop. You can have a base unit of measure, say for example pieces. Now there are some setups that are crucial when setting up items. Say for example the general product posting group, the VAT product posting group, and the inventory posting group. Now these posting groups connect the item to the chart of accounts, so that when you purchase or when you sell this item, to know which accounts to hit. So we just come here and create a general product posting group called desktops. We can connect it to a VAT product posting group, say VAT 16. And we can also have an inventory product posting group called desktops. Now this one also connects to the inventory account. Say for example we are buying at 30,000 and we are selling it at 50,000. And also if you have an image, you can be able to import it. So our first item is ready. We can create another item, just for example. So this one can be like a HP laptop. It's also 13 pieces. We can create a general product posting group for it. It can also be connected to the same VAT posting group. And then we can have the inventory product posting groups, laptops. Now this one we are buying it at 40,000 and selling it at 60,000. And you can also import an image. I think this should be okay. Now the next master data we are going to look at is customers. Now these are the people who buy our products and services, and their setups also we require to set up in the customer table: general business posting group, VAT business posting group, and the customer posting group. Now on the customer table right now it's blank, but we're going to create a new, which also here if you have a number series, you can be able to set it up so that it auto increments this customer number. So our first customer will be cash customer. We are going to put the setups which are available here. So we first of all create domestic general business posting group for all our domestic customers and vendors. And we can also have a VAT business posting group, It will also be domestic for all our domestic customers and vendors. And also we can have a customer posting group. We can also have it as domestic. Now this one will be just for the customers, and we connect it to the accounts receivables account, which I've already created. Now if you click like this and it comes blank, just clear the filter and you can choose your accounts receivables. And we can have payment terms. So Dynamics alerts you with the fields which are crucial with a red asterisk. So we are going just to create a payment term here, say cash. We can say these are 0 days. Okay. We can create a second customer. So we can choose the same setups. For the payment terms, we can create a new payment term, say 30 days. Now we're done with the customers. We can next go to the next master data, which is vendors. Also has the same kind of setups. So we'll also set up a number series for this also. So we can have a default supplier, and then we can choose the same setups that we created there, other than the vendor posting group, which we need to create for our domestic vendors. This one you can connect it to the accounts payables here, the liability account, accounts payables, and you can choose that they have a payment term of 30 days. Next, we can create a second supplier. Okay. Now, once you're done with that, there are some few more setups we need to set up. Say, for example, the general posting setup and the general ledger setup. So we are going to go straight to the general posting setup first. Now here we need to indicate which accounts will be hit when you sell, say, desktops. You can choose the income account. So we want, when you sell desktops, to hit the income account. And also for the credit notes, you can choose the same account. So there's some accounts we did not create. So for example, the prepayments from customers, that will be a liability account, which we can create it somewhere. So you can create it here as prepayments from customers. It's a balance sheet. It's a liability. And then we can choose the purchase accounts. So we can choose the same purchase desktops. And then we can have the same account for the credit memo. Purchase prepayments, this is an asset. So we can have it under the asset range. Prepayments. It's a balance sheet, it's an asset. And then we can choose the cost of sales accounts here. This is interim. You can have the same account. For the inventory adjustment, we'll not do any inventory adjustments for now. And then you can choose here the direct cost. You can put the same as the purchases. That should be okay. What we can do here, we can just have a scenario where the general business posting group is blank. So instead of putting all that, we can just copy. Okay, that's done. The next setup we need to do is a general ledger setup. So here you can choose you want to allow GL postings from which date to which date. For now we are just going to, for example, tick here the use legacy GL entry locking. This is tied to the inventory adjustments. We can put a local currency code. That should be it. Another setup we are going to set up is a VAT posting setup. So we are going to choose the various VAT business posting groups, and we are going to choose the VAT account. So we are going to choose a sales VAT here. Sales VAT. And then we're going to choose the purchase VAT here. The rest is okay. Here we can call it VAT 16. And then we can also set up the inventory posting setup. So in the inventory posting setup, we can be able to choose a location. So we can create one location, call it main. And choose the inventory posting group. The inventory account here, we are going to choose the inventory desktops we had created. That should be okay for now. Another setting we'll need to set up is the inventory setup. So we are going to choose automatic cost posting and automatic cost adjustment to be always. We are also going to prevent negative stocks. This is a checkbox I recommend to all our clients, and location mandatory. So if you had a number series for your items, you can set it up here. And then this one we can, okay. Accounting periods is already set up. So the next setup we need to set up is what we call number series. Now for the number series, we're going to set up, say for example, for the purchase documents. So I'm just going to create one, and then because it's going to take some time to create them, I'll pause the video and then come back and show you after I've created the rest. So we've done for the purchase order. Once you create it, you want to say that this will be the default number series to be used for purchase orders. Now, all our number series is done. So now you can click on OK and ensure that this default numbers is ticked for all. So the next setup we are going to do is purchase and payables. So you can go here and type purchase and payables. So on the purchase and payable setup, so first thing you want to do is you want to ensure that you have put the number series for the vendors and for the sales purchase orders. So just come and insert them. For the invoices, you can choose purchase invoices. Also for the posted invoices also. For now, we are not going to do any credit notes, but you can also have a number series for credit notes. Okay, we are going to tick this checkbox for archiving of the purchase orders and the purchase quotes. And then we can proceed to the sales and receivable setup. Here we are going to choose our logo to be on the left. Then we can insert the number series for customers and the rest of the sales documents. For invoices, you can choose sales invoices. Same for the posted documents. For credit notes, we're going to jump that. Posted shipments, we're going to use sales shipments. Once this is done, we're also going to archive our quotations and orders. Now, once all this is set up, we can begin our trading. So we'll first of all begin by doing a purchase order and doing the full purchase process. So we can choose a supplier here. We can choose the item we want to purchase. So say, for example, we want to purchase to the main location, 5 pieces at a cost of 30,000. And we have this invoice number from the vendor. Now when we post this, if all the setups are done okay, it's going to set up with it's going to post without an error. You can navigate here so that you can view the accounts which have been hit. So we can see here the inventory desktops has been debited, accounts payables, purchase VAT, and the direct cost accounts for purchases. It's a control account. Now if we were to check our inventory, we can be able to see that we have 5 pieces of this item, and we can proceed to pay that vendor. So we can go to payment journal. So on the payment journal, we can be able to create a batch for our bank. We can create it as a bank account. We can create a new bank account. And we can have a bank account posting group. Now this is the one that connects to the chart of accounts. And if it's a local currency, Kenya shillings, you just leave this currency code as blank. Now we can choose also a number series to use. So we can have a number series for payment journal. So here we can come and say it's a payment. We choose the vendor. So from here you can come to the top and say apply entries, and you'll see all the invoices that are not fully paid for this vendor. You can say set applies to ID. If you're doing a partial payment, you can come here and say maybe you want to pay 150,000. And the external document number, you can put the check number. Yeah, you can also have this on the description. And if everything is okay, you can preview posting. Now, you can see that the bank is going to be credited and accounts payables is going to be debited, which is okay. If everything is okay, you can proceed to post this. Now, if we were to go back to our vendors and we run the statement for this vendor, we can see there was an invoice for 174 and a payment of 150 and the balance. Now we can proceed to do some sales documents also. So we are going to begin by doing a sales order. So we can choose a customer. Now for this customer, we can sell to them 2 pieces from the main location at a price of 50,000. and we can post this. We can look at the accounts which have been hit by going to navigate. Now from here, we can see that the inventory account is credited as expected with the cost. Accounts receivables is debited. The income accounts are hit, and the cost of sales also is hit, and the income and the VAT account. Now, if we were to check our inventory, we'll see that our inventory has gone to 3 from 5, and we can also pay that that customer can also pay. So if we come here to cash receipt journal, also we can also have a batch here. We can have it as a bank account, which we have already created, and we can choose a number series for cash receipts. So we can say here payment, and it's a customer. We choose the customer. So this customer has an invoice. If you come here to apply entries, so they are paying against this invoice. Assuming it was there were several invoices, the customer can choose which invoices they are paying. So we can also say here that they are going to do a partial payment. So here they are going to pay 90,000. On the description here, you can indicate the check number. You can preview posting. Now here we expect the bank to be debited and accounts receivables to be credited, which is okay. And you can proceed to post this. Now if you were to check the customer balance, so we can see there was an invoice for 116,000, and then they paid 90,000 in the balance. So that's an example of the customer statement. So that concludes our video for today. We've been able to go through setting up a complete company in NAV 2018. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We welcome any questions or suggestions, so feel free to leave your comments. And if you can subscribe and like our page, we will appreciate. For more info, you can visit SoftIQ Technologies. Thank you.